Okay, torque tube assembly. If you take a look at the manual here, the line is calling for placing the bearings approximately 13 centimeters off of center point. Actual positioning is not super critical. What is critical is getting the bearings on it attached and not causing any problems. You use a tiny bit of CA on the shaft itself. I just literally use about a drop or two. I'm going to let that run around the shaft a little bit and then slide the bearing over to the CA. Make sure everything still rotates. I use some kicker on that. Make sure my bearing is still free. Okay, that one's good. And I would repeat the same process on the far side. Key here is little CA as you can get away with. And I typically let that wick its way around the shaft so we don't have a huge puddle as we go. Bring that in, accelerator just to stop the reaction and keep that from flowing all over the place. And now the bearings are attached. Okay, second part of the tail assembly, we're going to slide the rubber bushings over the glued on bearings. Trying to be careful and not really bang these bearings around too hard. And they're just adhered to the shaft a tiny bit. We get the rubber bushing seated over the bearing, kind of roll it on. That one's there. Repeat the process on the far end. We're going to do the same thing, just sort of roll this rubber bushing up over the bearing. Okay, now these get lubricated. I use Tri-Flow synthetic. Gonna make sure this bushing is well lubricated. This has to slide inside the tail shaft, so the whole purpose of the lubrication here is to let you get that inside of the tail shaft. Now, this can be kind of hard to keep in my camera frame here, so I've got 700 carbon fiber tube here. We are going to slide tail shaft in, and actually before I start I'm actually going to drop some more Tri-Flow down inside the shaft. You don't have to get crazy. In some cases, if you have it, it's very easy to use the spray type lubricant here and just spray a little shot of lubricant down inside the shaft, and that really helps these rubber bushings to slide in. Once we're in, like so. Once you get the second one in, get that going. Oops, I'm off a little bit here. Pull this back out, get that restarted. Second one goes in. Now, there's a clear plastic tube provided with the tail. Very easy to slide that over and use this as a push to bring the bearings in. Okay, now I have a little bit of the tail drive shaft out one end, about the same out the other end. This is about ready to assemble for the rest.